Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sacktown Pete back at it again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Boy, I do not want to play the New Orleans Pelicans. The Kings are obviously neck and neck with the Pelicans, and for that seventh spot, should I say, it's just a very tough, difficult matchup. They do own the tiebreaker against us. They've won 3 games in a row this season, 2 against us, and we do play them coming up on Thursday, this upcoming Thursday. But man, I would just hate to play a single elimination game against the Pelicans. They've had our number for the last 2 years. I mean, let's face it. Zion's a handful. Brian Ingram has destroyed and cooked us. CJ McCollum has had his 30-piece masterpieces against us. Herb Jones, Hawkins, they just Jose Grand Theft Auto. I mean, they present a mismatch nightmare for the Kings this season, and I was hoping that the Suns would still find a way to be hovering around the play-in spot. But based on the last 5 games and the last 7 games, should I say, the Suns are 5-2. They are firing on all cylinders right now. They pretty good for a team that has had labeled as the hardest strength of schedule to finish the season. And you know what? If the Phoenix Suns do end up getting the 6th spot, they deserve it. You know, they've played really good basketball the final stretch of 2 weeks of the season. And, you know, we still play the Suns. We still play the Suns on Friday, which would be a second half of back-to-back. But, I mean, Devin Booker's playing out of his mind. He's been the big reason why the Phoenix Suns are playing really well right now. And I'm just here to say that, you know what, as badly as I wanted the 6th spot, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, we got to hope and hope and pray for a miracle at this point. And this final stretch of 5 games is going to decide where we end up, obviously, you know. I'm not saying the 6th seed is completely out of the equation, but it's looking like it, just based on with the way the Phoenix Suns are playing and the way Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, they're finally playing all well together and they're clicking. So we'll see what happens there. But the Pelicans just present a mismatch, wrecking havoc nightmare for the Kings, man. In a single elimination play-in game, whether we get the home game or whether we get the away game, we would have to go to New Orleans. I don't think that I just don't like the potential matchup against the Pelicans in the play-in tournament. Knowing that Zion Williamson's banged up, he's dealing with a bruised finger, and I think Brandon Ingram's been out with an injury as well. I still don't want to play the Pelicans, man. I still do not want to play them. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not confident, but it's just the 3 games in the last 2 seasons, the Kings have had no answer for the New Orleans Pelicans. I think we did blow them out last season in New Orleans, but based on this season and what they did to us in the play-in, they just got wings, man. They got wings that can dominate and, you know, be really physical against the Kings. And I wouldn't want that. I honestly do not want that. I don't see that, you know, depending on what happens with the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, those 2 teams I wouldn't mind playing in the play-in. Just because we've had success against both of those teams. You know, we've swept the Lakers. 3 out of the 4 games were all blowouts. So I have no problem playing the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Golden State Warriors, yes, they got Stephen Curry. Yes, I know he dropped the 50-piece in Game 7 last season against us, but I still wouldn't mind playing them. I mean, I think that we match up really well with them, and I feel like the last 2 games, you know, the Warriors beat the Kings twice, you know, this season. Those 2 games, early games, were back in October and November. And the Kings' last 2 wins against the Golden State Warriors came, you know, after in a play-in round and after 1 game in the Bay Area in San Francisco after the All-Star break. So I think we're better equipped and prepared for the Golden State Warriors. And but I don't think we're going to play either one of those teams. I think that they're going to battle it out for the 9th and 10th spot. But the 7th and 8th, man, it's up for the taking. I think that it's going to come down to the Pelicans or the Kings for the 7th spot. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the play-in round, and, you know, do you guys want to play the Pelicans? Like I said, I plead my case. I wouldn't want to play the Pelicans, but most likely that's what it's looking like, man. The Kings will most likely be playing the Pelicans in the play-in tournament, and whether that's in New Orleans or whether that's in Sacramento, that will probably yet to be determined after this week. Boy, this is it right here. This is the home stretch, man. The Kings got to win today in Brooklyn against the Nets. They cannot afford to have any Debbie Downers this week. This is it. This is a stretch of the season right here. We are down to the final 5 games. Game 77, the final 5 games. The next 5 games. Nets today, and you got the Thunder in OKC. Then you go back home to Sacramento to play the Pelicans. Then you got the Phoenix Suns on the second night of the back-to-back on a Friday night. Boy, that game's going to be a big one. And then you end the season at home on next Sunday, against the Portland Trail Blazers. So I'm not going to ask for the bare minimum. I know what the Kings got to do. I think you guys know what the Kings got to do. I got to see a 5-game win streak right here to end the season. And whether that leads us to a 6th spot or whether that leads us to finishing at 7, we shall see. But just based on the way the Suns have been playing, I think they're most likely going to be the 6th spot. And the Kings just got to find that way to get the 7th spot and have a playing home game against the Pelicans. So with that being said, that's going to do it for today's video. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll have the Brooklyn Nets post-game video later on today. Hopefully it's a win today. I mean, make no mistake about it. The Kings got to find a way to win today in Brooklyn against the Nets, and they just got to keep pushing. So with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the video later on today. Peace.